I wanted to continue to do these series of videos where we talk about inexpensive or affordable or budget-friendly fragrances that smell amazing and perform relatively well. It appears to me that you guys are really enjoying these videos and that you're finding them very valuable. Please continue to comment, like, share, whatever it is that you're doing to make me get the numbers that I've been getting recently. I have a lot of new subscribers and I just want to say welcome and thank you so much for choosing to subscribe to this channel. So I have 10 more budget-friendly fragrances that I want to share with you guys. I mean, the lowest one that I think I have on this list is $11, okay? But anyway, guys, if you want to see these fragrances, let's go. Okay guys, so welcome back and thank you so much for joining me. As promised, I have 10 amazing budget-friendly fragrances that I want to share with you guys. So the very first fragrance that I want to get into is from the house of Burberry, and it is Burberry London. So I love the house of Burberry because I think their fragrances always smell so good and the quality is usually very amazing. So when I see a Burberry fragrance like deeply discounted, you best believe I'm gonna pick it up, and that was exactly the case with this fragrance. So I remember when I used to go into Sephora and I will always see this fragrance and I would smell it. It would smell so good because this is right up my alley. Like, this is the kind of fragrance that I love, but I could just never justify paying the price that Sephora or Macy's would be asking for. So of course I would wait and wait until finally they started to appear in the, department stores such as TJ Maxx and Burlington. So of course, when I saw this one in TJ Maxx a couple of months ago, I picked it up. But anyway, guys, so this fragrance is like an everyday scent. It's a very floral scent. So if you're not into white florals, you're not gonna like this one, or maybe you will, because it's not like a typical white floral. It doesn't smell that way, but it is a white floral. I don't know if that makes any sense, but there's so many things going on in this fragrance. I think it's worth giving a try, even if you don't like floral fragrances. So this one opens up with honeysuckle, tangerine, and rose, and in the heart we have jasmine, tiara flower, peony, and clementine, and in the base notes we have musk, sandalwood, and patchouli. So what I get the most from this one is definitely the jasmine. As soon as you pop this baby off, you get that beautiful soapy jasmine, and of course there's a little bit of sweetness that the tangerine and the clementine is responsible for, and of course when it dries down it becomes very soapy and a little bit woodsy from the sandalwood. So how I would really describe this scent is as a soapy jasmine tea. I mean, if you could imagine what that smells like. So in regards to performance, this fragrance could give you up to 9 or more hours of longevity. I think it projects nicely. It's not a sillage monster unless you overspray it, but it projects very nicely. One thing I should add is that this is a mature floral. Like, it smells mature, even a bit on the vintage side. That's very atypical of Burberry. If you like florals that smells a little bit vintagey, I mean, this is also one to definitely try out. Coming up next is a fragrance from the house of Michael Kors, and it is so rare for me to talk about fragrances from this house because I'm not drawn to the fragrances in this house, to be honest. But I found this little one, and let me tell you, I'm so happy. This is called White. It's very reflective, so I'm just gonna hide the top. So this one is called White, and I happened to find this one very cheaply in TJ Maxx a couple of months ago, and I decided to try it because it was so inexpensive, and I was so surprised by how much I really like this one. As you guys know, I don't really do single reviews on my channel, but I did a single review on this fragrance. Like, I dedicated a whole video to this one because it smells so good to me. I just wanted everybody to know how good this one smells, and that's kind of how I am when I find a fragrance that I like to put people on. I just want them to enjoy what I'm enjoying. So this fragrance smells very similar to the original Michael Kors fragrance. So you definitely get the white flowers, you get the tuberose, the gardenia, the jasmine. But what I noticed that was so different about this scent was that it had some green slash herbal nuances that I found really interesting. I really was not expecting that. Another thing I wasn't expecting was that this would be so soapy. If you follow my channel, you'll know how much I appreciate a clean, soapy floral. So that's exactly what I get from this one. What I like about this fragrance is that it feels very classy, but at the same time, it's also very versatile. It's something that you could wear on the daily, something you could just wear to the office, something you could just put on and just go about your day. And that's what I love about this scent. Very, very versatile. It's a kind of fragrance too that you would get compliments on. It just has that kind of smell. It's hard to ignore how pretty this one really is. In regards to performance, I think you could get at least 6 hours out of this before it starts to fade into a skin scent. So after 6 hours, you'll definitely be able to smell it on your skin, but it would be like a skin scent. And at that point, I guess you could just go ahead and reapply. This is a beautiful fragrance and one that I hope I could always keep in my collection. It is so gorgeous. Next up is a fragrance from the house of Oscar de la Renta. And if you've been paying attention recently, I've been kind of obsessed with Oscar de la Renta. I think his fragrances are so amazing, like especially his floral fragrances. If you're into florals, definitely check out the house of Oscar de la Renta. The fragrances are fairly inexpensive and they smell amazing, also decent quality. So definitely try his fragrances out. So the fragrance that I'm talking about here today is this fragrance right here, and this is Something Blue. This is the first time I'm actually gonna feature this fragrance on my channel, and that is because in the past I didn't like this fragrance. I tried it once, kind of put it in the back of my collection and just thought to myself, oh, what a huge disappointment. But you know, a part of me always knew I was gonna come back to this fragrance. I guess it's just not what I thought it was gonna be, and I had to just get over that disappointment, but I knew I was gonna come back to it. According to Oscar de la Renta, this is a wedding day scent. This is what he wants women to smell like on their wedding day while they're wearing his beautiful dresses. And you know what, I do get that. I really do get that. It has that kind of scent. It smells like a wedding day scent. It really evokes that feeling, and it's kind of strange how you could bottle that smell. So this fragrance opens up with lime blossom, neroli, bergamot, mandarin orange, and in the heart we have lily of the valley, stephanotis, and lychee. In the base we have woods and musk. The name of this is a little bit misleading. Something Blue will make you think that maybe it's gonna be like aquatic or watery or something like that. A part of it does feel watery, but for the most part this is a green fragrance. I mean, that's all I get, like green, green, green. I think they should have called this one Something Green, because that's just what I get. And maybe that's the reason why at first I was a little bit disappointed, even though it smelled good. To call a fragrance Something Blue and then it smells green is just so odd to me, but it doesn't stop this fragrance from being like amazing. It is viciously floral. So if you don't like florals, you're definitely not gonna like this one. But this is viciously floral and clean and green, and it just smells really, really feminine. I mean, it's just an amazing scent. In regards to performance, this one could last you up to 6 hours. After 6 hours, it becomes a skin scent, but you could definitely detect it. And in all honesty, that's the best part of this fragrance, the dry down. It smells so amazing. I mean, this is definitely one to try if you're into voluptuous florals that's very lush and green and a little bit watery. It's just so amazing. Coming up next is a fragrance from the house of Izumi Miyaki. I just freaking love this house. I mean, it is so rare when he does wrong. So the fragrance that I'm talking about here is Pleats, Please, Love. So there are different variations to this fragrance, but I'm talking about the one with the green juice and the pink writing. The experience that I had with this fragrance was so odd because the first time I tried it out, I kind of felt a little hurt and a little disappointed because I was expecting so much from this fragrance. I kind of imagined that it was just going to be this beautiful green floral, and then I kind of felt like it just didn't deliver. I was very disappointed, and I went a whole month without trying it again because I just didn't care for it. Oh, and then I tried it again. Okay, so weirdly enough, I decided, you know what, since I'm not gonna wear this one out, I'm just gonna wear it to bed because it does have that type of scent. It's very light and clean. It's not heady. It's just a beautiful, clean, fresh scent, and or at least that's what I thought. Thought it was just innocent, right? Until I wore it to bed, got up the following morning, and I was in my mirror, you know, putting in my contacts, and I kept smelling a beautiful scent. And I'm like, what is that? Because I could not remember that this is what I was wearing. Then I went for the other eye to put in my contacts, and I'm like, what the hell is that? I'm looking around trying to figure out what that beautiful smell was. And then I figured it out, and it was this fragrance right here. The moment I discovered that it was this fragrance, I haven't been able to stop wearing it. This is just, it is just a gorgeous green, floral, sparkling, beautiful scent. I don't know how else to put it. This is why I love Izumi Miyaki. Like, when I smell it, that's just exactly what I thought. I'm like, this is just amazing to me. It is simple, but it's amazing. It's simply amazing. I know that's corny, but you know. So this one opens up with wild rose, and in the heart we have neroli, Bulgarian rose, and pink pepper. And in the base we have white musk, cedarwood, and patchouli. I read all of that to tell you I don't smell any of this. Possibly the rose. It's almost like a green rose kind of scent. Very sparkling, very dewy. It's also musky, but it's definitely floral. You get the florals. It is just such a gorgeous scent. It's not terribly long lasting, but then again, you know how I am. I only spray 2 sprays. I don't like to overspray my fragrances. I like to get whiffs here and there because fragrances could easily give me a headache if I overspray them. So I try not to ever go more than 3 sprays. It will last you 5 or more hours until it does become a skin scent. Then at that point, maybe you could reapply. It could last longer. I'm just not sure because like I said, I refuse to apply this more than 2 times. But it's a lovely scent. Oh God, it is so good, guys. It is so good, especially the dry down. The dry down on this fragrance is a kind of dry down that you get compliments on. The trail on it is so amazing. You'd have to ask the wearer what they're wearing. It's that kind of scent. Beautiful, very under recognized fragrance in my opinion. The next fragrance that I have here is from the house of Calvin Klein. There's always a Calvin Klein fragrance on my list, and that's because you can easily find them very discounted and they smell amazing. The quality is usually good, so to me that makes for a very good scent, right? So the fragrance that I'm talking about here is Downtown. Okay, and this fragrance, I mean, not a lot of people talk about it, and I also noticed that it has like a very weird, like poor reputation, and I'm just not understanding where that is coming from. But let me tell you, this is a fragrance that is worth trying. I'm gonna talk up for this fragrance because I feel as though it is undervalued for no good reason, and there's just so many people that write this fragrance off way too early, and I almost became one of those people. When you spray this fragrance out, you get like a bunch of, I would say, citruses and pepper. And I don't think that's the most attractive or unique scent. So I think a lot of people smell that and just, you know, within the first 5 to 10 minutes, give up on this scent. That is such a mistake. You literally have to wait for this scent. You have to be patient with it. This is the kind of fragrance that smells better as it lives on. Like, you have to let it progress on the skin, let it dry on the skin, and then you'll get the real beauty of this fragrance. It's just one of those. It's not going to be beautiful right out of the bottle. The dominant notes in this one are violet leaf, pink pepper, citruses, pear, and plum. So every single time that I have worn this scent, it has been to the office. It's that kind of scent. It's a very inoffensive, appropriate kind of scent. It is clean, it's woodsy, it's peppery, it's kind of sweet at the same time. It is just a really nice scent. Of all the fragrances that I have on this list, this is the best performer. It just does not give up. Like, it really doesn't. Do not give up on this fragrance. Do not scrub it off within the first 10 minutes, because then you're just giving up on this fragrance way too early. You have to let it blossom, and then you'll get the real beauty of this scent. Coming up next is a fragrance from Vera Wang, and this one is called Lovestruck Floral Rush. I was so quick to judge this fragrance. I looked at the packaging and just thought to myself, oh, I'm not gonna like this one. So I really bypassed this fragrance like so many times until I decided to pick it up, because it was just always there staring at me, and I became curious to see what it was about. And guys, I was so surprised to find that I actually really like this scent. It is not what I was expecting, and with the name Floral Rush, I just really wasn't expecting this fragrance to smell the way it does. This is actually a champagne fragrance. Okay, of all things, that's what I get the most. This one opens up with champagne, apricot blossom, and pink pepper. In the heart, we have freesia, passion flower, and marigold. And in the base, we have musk, cashmere wood, and ambergris. This is a champagne and pink pepper scent. It just works. I used to run so far away from pink pepper, but I noticed that I'm becoming very attracted to that note, because what pink pepper does is it wakes up a fragrance and it keeps it alive. It is so necessary in fragrances, and this one is just so beautiful. This wears like a casual type of scent. Is something that I would wear casually. So this fragrance in particular is also a fragrance I would like to call a creeper, because it kind of like creeps up on you. Like, at first you spray it out, and yes, you get the champagne and the pink pepper, but once you've been wearing it for a while, it starts to really come alive and starts to really blossom and just starts to smell really good. The part that I love the most about this fragrance though is the dry down. Like, hands down, the dry down is what I love about this scent. It dries down very sparkling, but musky and woodsy at the same time. It is just so gorgeous. I remember spraying it on a sweater that I had worn, and when I was doing my laundry and I took it out and it just flashed in front of my nose, I was like, oh my God, I've been smelling like that. It's that kind of scent. So maybe I wasn't even able to smell it on myself, but once I pulled it out of the hamper, I was like, wow, I was just so amazed by what was left back at the end of the day when I wore this scent. It's just so gorgeous, and it's so inexpensive. I mean, all these fragrances are inexpensive, but this is really inexpensive. So the other day I did a fragrance haul where I was talking about vintage fragrances, and you guys really took to the comments. I mean, I was so proud of you guys for coming out and letting me know that it was okay to wear my vintage fragrances, and you guys were telling me your favorite vintage fragrances. It was just a whole moment. I'm so happy that I brought it up, because I really enjoyed reading the comments. I saw every single comment and I read every single comment, and it made me smile. But what I noticed was that a lot of you guys kept asking me about this fragrance right here, which is from the house of Elizabeth Taylor, and this is called Sparkling White Diamonds. Well, you guys weren't really asking about it. You guys were telling me to get it, and I was trying to explain to everybody, like, I do have it. Okay, of course I have this fragrance. This is one of Elizabeth Taylor's best fragrances. Like, if you're into clean, sparkling, soapy fragrances, you have to have this one in your collection, and it is super inexpensive. So really, you have not much to lose. The soapiness that I get from this one is not so much of a bar soap or laundry soap. It's more aldehydic, so it's not like smooth. It's more like I would say like a harsh soapy smell. I say that and it sounds bad, but that's a really good thing. It worked in this fragrance. So even though it's all floral and soapy, in the base of it we have amber that makes it a little bit sweet and just a little bit more interesting. It is just such a nice fragrance. Definitely worth trying. In regards to performance, that's the only thing that I have a problem with. I wish it would last longer, wish it would project more. But honestly, a lot of people don't have a problem with the performance. If you ask a lot of people, they think it's pretty strong and it lasts on them. And, you know, so it's just something that you'd have to try to see how it works on your chemistry. Maybe I'm just going to have to try this again, spray it in the crook of my elbows, like really spray this one. Maybe it's that kind of fragrance where you're going to have to overspray a little bit just to get the full effect. But this is a gorgeous scent, and I will always have this in my collection. I've decluttered so many fragrances, and I never thought to declutter this one. It's a hell no. This one is definitely staying in the closet. The next fragrance that I have coming up is a fragrance that almost didn't make it to this list because I kind of felt like, why add it to the list? A lot of people know about this, and a lot of people probably already have this one in their collection, and if they don't have it, it probably means that, you know, they don't want to add it to their collection. But I still thought, you know, I have to add this. It's such a beautiful everyday scent, and I absolutely love it. And it is Amazing Grace, and this is by the Philosophy brand. So this little fragrance right here is so innocent looking. It's so innocent smelling, but it really does garner a lot of compliments. It really does. It's funny because when I'm wearing this fragrance, I get compliments on it, and when other people are wearing it, I compliment them. It's just that kind of scent. That's really what I get. So it's a watery floral, it's musky, and it does have a shampoo vibe. This is another fragrance that I will literally always have in my collection if it's available. This is probably my third bottle, and I always make a dent in them because it's the perfect everyday scent. This is also a beautiful scent to wear to bed. Okay guys, so we are down to the last two fragrances. In case you forgot to hit the like button or the subscribe button, please do that now. It helps the channel out. Coming up next is from the house of Calvin Klein, and it is CK Into You. This is another fragrance that I kind of slept on. I don't know why, but I used to see this everywhere. I used to see it in person, like in stores, and I also used to see it online and never felt attracted to it. I think it's the bottle. A lot of times when I blind buy fragrances, it has a lot to do with the presentation, and this one just didn't draw me in for some reason. But I saw this at a very good price and decided to give it a try, and I'm so glad that I did. It smells so good. Now, it is a citrusy, woodsy kind of scent. It's not the most unique, but for what it is, it's done so well. This fragrance opens up with pink grapefruit, Sicilian bergamot, and red currant leaf. And in the heart, we have cactus and orchid. And in the base notes, we have vanilla, red cedar, and amber. So of course, the most dominant notes in this one are the pink grapefruit, the bergamot, and the cedarwood. And of course, you definitely get the red currant leaf and the cactus. So a lot of these notes actually show up in the fragrance. You know, sometimes you have a fragrance, you read the notes and you're like, what? Like you don't smell anything, but this isn't one of them. It opens up very bright and citrusy from the pink grapefruit. It has a very juicy, delicious pink grapefruit scent, and right away you get some green nuances, which, you know, of course I appreciate, and I just wasn't expecting that. I wasn't expecting all the greenery that showed up into this fragrance. And of course on the dry down you get that cedarwood. If you're not into cedarwood, you're definitely not gonna like this fragrance, but if you like cedarwood in your fragrances, especially your citruses, you're definitely gonna like this fragrance. This is a fragrance to use on a very hot day when it's just sweltering and it's just really hot and humid outside, and you're looking to wear something really clean smelling and refreshing. So I cannot wait to wear this one. Everybody needs a fragrance like this in their collection. The last fragrance that I have coming up is a fragrance from Kim Kardashian, and I know I left her for last because I know a lot of people don't like Kim Kardashian, and I understand that, but me myself, I like perfumes. I talk about perfumes on my channel. Notice how I don't really talk about anything else. I try to keep it about the perfume, and this right here is a beautiful perfume. It's one of the best celebrity fragrances that you're gonna find out there. If you're into honey fragrances, if you're into florals, if you're into smelling clean and just amazing, this is one for you. I was a little bit turned off by the packaging, I'm not gonna lie. I wasn't into the whole, you know, bottle and the color, the amber colored juice, you know, it's just not my style. But I still decided to try this out. So I tried this before buying it, and I'm telling you, before I left the mall, I was like, hell no, I'm just gonna get this because it was, the smell was just haunting. I never smelled anything like it, but at the same time it did smell very familiar. It has like a nostalgic smell to me. It smells like something that I probably smelled in my childhood. Ever since I have experienced this fragrance, I've been looking for more honey fragrances because it's gotten me into that note. But let me tell you, nothing comes close to this scent. Pure Honey opens up with freesia, red rose, mandarin blossom, and honey. And in the heart, we have beeswax, honey, honeysuckle, and orchid. And in the base, we have coconut, vanilla, and musk. What I get the most is the honey, the beeswax, and the honeysuckle. So that's what I get. It has a light powderiness to it. It has a light soapiness to it. And of course, wrapped around all that is the honey and the beeswax. This is just gorgeous, well made, and I really do enjoy it. It's just, this is gorgeous. Okay guys, so that's it for me tonight. I hope you found this video enjoyable. I hope you found it valuable. I hope you find something that you like. Do not forget to like and comment. It's the only way to keep this channel up. So don't forget to follow me on Instagram. I love to hear from you. Okay guys, so that's it. Bye.